come out to play.
In understanding that my sense of self comes from my sense of community, I can agree that my community is self. I can agree that I must contribute to the world around me, and to do so need the strength of a warrior. What makes a warrior? A warrior is one who can look within, have insight, find solace, strength, and purity of being, and apply this to everyday life. A warrior has the tools to write his own story and the power to care for his community as a family. We all have this power. It is whether we know we do.
And with this said, now I think it's time to
ring the alarm.
You have to let it all go, Mia. Fear, doubt, and disbelief. Free your mind.
It is said that there's enough energy in a human body to power a city for 2 whole weeks. Energy can either be expressed as potential or actual movement. Therefore, there is enough potential for an individual to move a city, maybe even the whole earth. We all know our cities need some movement. If one individual can accomplish this, imagine what we could do collectively. It is time to recognize our personal power. Peace, my beautiful people. Welcome to Guazabara Media, your source of socially conscious information. My name is Febo, founder and CEO of Guazabara Insights LLC, an educational services provider aimed at raising social consciousness and uplifting our communities. You've reached our social conscious education series. This is episode 5, entitled Our Energetic Wiring. Now, we're talking about energy within the human body. I'm not talking about an ethereal, mystical type of energy. I'm talking about literal, physical, energetic processes within the body. Now, there's many of them going on. We have muscular movement. We have our nervous system. We have our hormones that are moving around our body. And our hormones are mainly what translate into specific type of energy releases within the body. Now, there's 7 main centers that are in the body that process different types of information, as there are 7 main glands that process different hormones to create that energetic process. There are 3 brains in the human body. We have our reptilian, our emotional, and our higher learning, the neocortex. And the brain communicates to the rest of the body through our nervous system. The lower center of the brain, our reptilian brain, communicates with our lower center is our instinctual component of the body, our animalistic component of the body. Then you go a bit higher in energy, higher centers of the body. Now we have the emotional components of the body. And then you have the higher learning, higher neocortex associated with higher purpose within the body. The more energy the body holds, the more we live into our potential. The lower our energetic state, the less motivated we feel, and the less we want to live into our potential. While a lot of these energetic processes are occurring without us knowing, they're occurring unconsciously, us applying our conscious thought or awareness to these energetic processes alone allow us to uplift ourselves in that way of being. So all we need to do is pay attention and sometimes focus on these unconscious processes and bring them into the forefront of our awareness so that we gain control and power over our own lives. Each center is associated with a gland in the endocrine system, and it is also associated with an element of nature. Let's review some of these to see what they are. Our first center is our root, connected to our adrenal glands. This is also our earth element. This is how we are grounded. This is what gives us connection to planet Earth and our physical being. Our adrenal glands produce cortisol, which is a stress hormone. Whenever you feel fearful or you're in a state of fight or flight, the body will produce this hormone in order to give you that extra rush of energy to either fight or to flight. And what's funny is that the culture that we live in sort of promotes a culture of fear, because if we're living in a culture of fear, we live in a state of fear, it is impossible for us to achieve our full potential. When we're in fear, we doubt ourselves, we doubt the people around us, we can't trust, we lack the motivation, we lack compassion, we lack all the other things that the rest of the elements within our body provide for us. We We remain in our lower structures and lower energetic structures of the body. Our second center is our sexual center. These are our gonads, our testes, and our ovaries. It produces our sex drive, which is also our social drive. This is our water element. It makes us flow. It makes us actually energetically communicate with the people around us. This is why you dress the way you dress, you look the way that you look. You are biologically programmed to want to procreate. And what you procreate, your offspring, you want your offspring to be better than you. This is biologically ingrained within all of us. We go a bit higher, we're moving away from the instinctual into the emotional centers of the body. Our third center, our solar plexus, is our fire element. This gives us our power, the solar plexus. This element is what gives us confidence. It gives us the willpower to want to move. Whenever you are in a state of shock, all of the blood in the body retorts to that specific area of the body, and the limbs of people faint, and they have no ability to actually function because the body's trying to use all the energy that it can use to give you power to move. Now, if we don't use this element correctly, we'll end up stagnant, we'll end up unmotivated, and we'll end up easily influenced by others, whether that be good or a bad thing. Our fourth center, which is one of the more important centers of the body, is our heart center. Our heart center is connected to our thymus gland, which is responsible for our immune system in the body. As mentioned in previous episodes, the Mother Teresa effect. Just having students watch a documentary about Mother Teresa, who happens to be a compassionate person, raise the immune system of the people in the classroom. The same way just observing someone being compassionate or being open with someone uplifts us automatically. Us exercising this power and being compassionate and being open with the world around us expands our presence, and in expanding our presence, we automatically lift up the people around us. This is also our air element, which is when we say when we're in love, we can't breathe without the other person. A bit higher up in the energetic centers, which is our fifth center, which is our throat center. The glands associated with the center are the thyroid and the parathyroid. This is also responsible for breaking down food processes in the body and metabolism, giving us drive and our ability to express ourselves and communicate. The physical areas associated with the throat center are our shoulders, our throat, and our face. Whenever we communicate, we use all three at the same time in order to communicate. But the moment we don't communicate, we don't express ourselves, we create tension in this area, which is why when you don't say what you need to say is why you feel a knot in your throat. Now what's funny is that when you don't expend any of these energetic components, it creates literal physical pain within the body. It's not just overall process, it's not an ongoing process, it's something that's immediate. Your body is always constantly reminding you and letting you know what you need to do in order to feel fulfilled and to feel happy. We go a bit higher up. This is our pineal gland, our sixth center, which is responsible for our future vision. The pineal gland releases melatonin, which is responsible for creating the dream state. Sensitive to light, which is why when you're sleeping and somebody turns on the light, is why you wake up. It releases or retracts melatonin in the body in order to wake you up or put you to sleep. But sleep and dream is something that's also always associated, and when we daydream or we have visions about our future, and this is how we see our futures, this is when this specific center of the body is open and accepting to the world around it. And then our last higher center, we could say, is called our crown, which is also our pituitary gland. It's also known as the master gland. This gland regulates all the other glands in the body. Being in tune and being in touch with yourself and being in touch with your energetic process alone allows the master gland to regulate all the other glands for you. And this is our connection to our higher center, our higher being, and our higher purpose. In mythology or in religion or in a lot of other associations to spirituality, whenever this center is open, it's always represented as a halo because you're shining light. It's funny because the more energy you hold in your body could be translated as the more light you're expending. People can be seen to sort of emit a specific glow to them, or there's just something to them, a shine. We call you a shining star, or we call famous people, celebrities, stars because they shine. The quality of the energy is so strong that it literally influences the people around them. Every single one of us has this ability, is whether we know we do or not. You can see Michael Jackson. When people see Michael Jackson, his energy is so strong, people scream and people faint. The Beatles, Elvis Presley, Beyonce Knowles, their quality of energy is so strong that they literally make people go crazy. They don't know how to handle themselves. Now, when our energetic centers are open and in sync with each other, meaning when we are living up to our fullest energetic potential, this is when we have our highest potential of achieving whatever it is, whatever purpose we came to on earth to achieve, and it is also our perfect state of health. This is why in the medical industry, the staff of Asclepius is used, or the catechist. These are symbols showing that perfect health is an exchange of energy between all the energetic centers of the body. Now, one of the biggest problems in our society is that we sort of try to cling on to all these external inputs in order to make us feel fulfilled or make us feel like we have a higher energetic state. Whether it be drugs, and that's a big problem because drugs allow us to sort of feel that way. It makes us feel enlightened, it makes us feel in a heightened state, it makes us feel like we can think better or we can feel better. But these processes are already occurring in the body, it's just that we don't know how to tune into them. These chemicals that we're inputting into our body are also the same chemicals that the body actually makes. So if we could tune into our bodies, we can actually literally create chemical systems within the body that make us feel happy, that make us feel fulfilled, and make us feel enlightened and feel like we're thinking at a higher state so that we could plan, so that we could strategize, so that we can fulfill our missions in the best way possible. And it's hard because we have a lot of things to do. We have our own families, we have our jobs, and we're trying to take care of ourselves, but we have to really, really take the time out for ourselves, whether it be a minute, whether it be 5, whether it be 10, sit down, be quiet, listen to yourself, listen to what your heart has to tell you, pay attention to your health so that you can collectively have your body be happy, be in harmony with the world around you so that you fulfill your potential. We don't have to fulfill other people's potentials, we fulfill our own, because the moment we die, we want to be able to look back and say, I actually contributed to the world around me, I actually left an impression no matter what that impression was. Only you and your heart will be able to tell you how to get there. Thank you all for tuning in. This has been our energetic wiring. God bless you all. I hope to see y'all next week. Love you. Take care of yourselves.